All right, let me cut across to our big story as we deep dive on this. Bengaluru, that was once seen as a poster city for India's digital payment revolution, is now seeing quiet but sharp pushback. In markets across Bengaluru, street vendors and small shopkeepers are pulling down QR codes. In their place are coming up handwritten signs that says no UPI, only cash. Because nearly 14,000 unregistered traders have received GST notices. These are mostly small vendors, tea stalls, corner shops, street food carts who've been accepting digital payments so long, since 2021. The problem, of course, is once their UPI transactions were added up, authorities found that they had crossed the GST turnover limit, and that's 40 lakhs for goods and 20 lakhs for services. Even those making just about 2 to 3,000 a day say that their years of digital payments were enough to trigger tax demands, in some cases running into lakhs of rupees. Karnataka Commercial Taxes Department says that these notices were sent only to those who crossed the legal threshold. They've now urged traders to respond with proper records and consider registering under the simplified GST composition scheme. But vendors say that they fear not just tax demands, but harassment and even eviction by civic bodies. Many feel that they are being punished for going digital in the first place. Legal experts say that not all digital receipts are taxable and that the department must prove its claims before collecting any money. They're calling for fair hearings and less aggressive enforcements. So now Bengaluru's digital dream seems to be fading as fear, confusion and paperwork taking over, with many of them who dived head first into digital payments are now taking a back seat. Let me take you through our experts to give us a little more in detail as to what this really means for the digital world. Ashok K.M. Gowda, who's spokesperson of the BJP, a party that's really heavily pushed digital payments across India. We also have Professor Bijan Mishra, consumer policy expert, and CA Bimal Jain, who's a tax expert. Professor Bijan Mishra, as a consumer policy expert, we're looking at people, vendors, local chaiwalas, small shops, bakeries, all moving away from digital payments. Did you see this coming?
No, I never expected it, because I always felt they would have a growth in their business because of digitization. There'll be more and more consumers who will come and do transaction with them, and the business will grow. But instead, I think the authorities are not fair with these vendors by imposing these kind of notices, because they have not collected GST from us. As consumers, we have not paid any GST. We have not got any receipt where it has been reflected that we have been charged GST. And now they're giving them notices because they have exceeded the limit. So the solution is they should sit and talk with them, explain them, and handhold them.
I'm really shocked to hear that street vendors are expected to pay taxes same as registered businesses. So you have unregulated businesses now using payments on digital platforms. Now they are also going to be taxed just like registered businesses.
So that is what I'm saying, that it should not be, because we should encourage digitization. We should encourage convenience to the consumers. We should encourage growth. And why burden these small vendors with taxation? Because my contention is we are having very good collection of taxation in our country from the time we have digitized, and the government is making things much simpler and easier for people to
Here
pay
the threat is
also
that money accumulating will easily touch 40 lakhs. Bimal, would you want to quickly step in? Should UPI data alone be enough to trigger these GST notices?
Need not be. Please try to appreciate if these notices are being issued without proving, without substantiating, then it is kind of harassment to the small vendors. And those who are street vendor, please try to appreciate, for them or for anyone who is registered in GST, the threshold for goods is 40 lakh, for services is 20 lakh, and for composition dealer is 1.5 crore. So for all information, they would be below that threshold limit. I do not know how come Commercial Tax Department has issued so-called notices or notices. What is the data they are having? Street vendor, to my mind, if you look at 40 lakh rupees threshold per year, then per day would be 10,959 rupees. And for services, 20 lakh rupees, if threshold is there, then per day would be 5,480 rupees. To my mind, this threshold is too high looking at the vendor who are selling the product in the market.
You know, finally, Ashok Gowda, you know, we know BJP has done a brilliant job when it comes to the digital push. But can there be digitization without actually threatening livelihoods? Because there's already been enough damage with taxes that people believe, especially the middle and lower class, believe that they are being taxed heavily. And here you have digital payments that was working with ease. Now suddenly tax notices has really scared all of them. They are clearly putting out on their boards saying no UPI, only cash. That's a big slap on the entire push, the digital push.
Let me get into this, Nabila. See, there are 4 points to this. First point is, only in Karnataka these notices have been issued, not in the other states. Point number 1. If at all they are issued in the other states, why there is no human cry there? Only in Karnataka, why is there is a human cry?
That's not a reasoning,
and with
sir.
this, agreed. I'll support Bimal's points. See, it's a very simple thing. Notices have been issued to the people wherein the transaction is more than 40 lakh rupees per annum. Meaning to say, per month, imagine the transactions, what is happening. So with all these things, what Bimal is saying is 1.5 crores is a limit, wherein if at all you have crossed more than 40 lakhs and you are 1.5 crores, very close to 1.5 crores, then without maintaining any records, you will be supposed to pay only 1% of it as a tax, and you do not have to maintain any book of records. If at all you have crossed more than 1.5 crores and more than anything else, and if at all you have maintained the book of records, the GST input tax will be taken and you will be paying only on the input 12%. So it's a very simple formula and a very simple calculation.
Is it simple
I have
enough,
discussed
Bimal?
with this with
Right,
the
sir.
GST.
Bimal, is it as simple, and what would be your word of advice?
Let me complete it. Let me complete
my
it.
answer
Only in
is that
Karnataka, see, because it is a, no, 1 second. Let me complete it, sir. Let me complete it. Only in Karnataka, why are they making this an issue? Because Congress government, for a small street vendors, they took it as if they wanted to do politicize this, and they went to the small street vendors.
Okay, so we got your point.
wherein
We're
the
not getting into
collection
the
is less
politics
than-
of it, sir. But Bimal, as I'm apologies, as I short on time, your take on this. Only in Karnataka should we really worry? The rest of the country is not creating a fuss. And your word of advice for these vendors.
See, to my mind, first of all, if you look at revenue collection target for Karnataka is 1.2 lakh crore rupees for 25-26. Maybe they are struggling with the revenue collection. That's the region they are trying out. But this is not a good approach at all. You can't issue notices to the street vendor who has not collected the GST. And quite obvious, you will agree with me, Nabila, that those street vendor may not be having a turnover more than 40 lakh rupees yearly. So why such notices? If at all someone crossed the limit, there should be process of handholding. You have to educate them. You have to tell them that you're crossing this limit. Now registration is required. But without doing handholding, you cannot create a chaos by issuance
So this
of
is chaotic,
notices
Mr.
to the street
Bijan.
vendor.
Sir Bijan, your word of what's to be done if you've received a notice?
In case you have received the
Simple.
notices,
Mr.
then
Bijan.
Simple. They should not get engaged with any lawyers. In my view, that will end up into much more heavy expenditure. They should just represent as an association before the authorities and tell them that we should be educated and taught how to go about resolving this issue rather than getting into any litigation.
Great. We
So
heard
I
you.
would not encourage
A litigation there, but go as an association as one unit. But I apologize, sir, we are running out of time, but I really thank you for joining us with those updates there.